Hey guys, welcome back to No Catchy Name. It's me, Ella. Today is Monday. Oh gosh, it's November, I think the 18th, 2024. And this is my market recap for my market I had on this past Saturday, the 16th. Anyways, it did pretty good. So this was a market at a elementary school, kind of far away from me. It was like a 47-minute drive. And when we drove there, I'd heard of this town before, but I'd never really been like in it. Their school was out in the middle of nowhere. I live in Middle Tennessee, so a lot of places here is out in the middle of nowhere. But this school was like really out in the middle of nowhere. To put it in perspective, if you're in the South, there was only $1 General on the highway going towards this school. And if you know anything about the South, there's usually a Dollar General like every couple miles, it seems. And we only passed one. And, but anyways, it was way out in the middle of nowhere. It was surrounded by cow fields. And so when we first got there, we were kind of like, oh, this may not be that great. And I was already expecting it to be kind of a small market, because typically my markets like this, from my past experience, are smaller. So I was planning to make, somewhere around like $200 to $300. But it ended up being surprisingly well. And it was a pretty fun day. There was a pretty good flow of traffic. I believe most of it was probably parents and stuff from the school. And a lot of teachers were there. A lot of teachers had booths, actually, which I thought was cool. There were some that were grading papers while in between customers, while waiting for people to come in. But yeah, so for the people who only like numbers, I'm going to do the numbers first, and then I'll pop up pictures of everything that I sold. And I remembered this time to take pictures of everything. So I do have pictures of everything. And I will try to link all the patterns that I used in the description box below. If you're looking for one and it's not down there, just give me a comment and I will send it to you. Because sometimes I forget, or I'm, whatever. Anyways, let's get into the numbers. So first, it was a market started at 8 a.m. and ended at 4 p.m. Things ended more closer to like 3:30 is when everybody was packing up and leaving. So it was a school fundraiser. The booth fees, and I don't know if they had like a donation thing up front, because I wasn't up front much, all went to their kindness program, which I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming it has something to do with maybe like anti-bullying or something. But, so yeah, anyways. So my total money that I took in was $515, which I thought was really good for a market this size, because typically these kind of markets, like I said, I make between like 200 and 300, usually closer to 200. So 463 of it was cash, and 52 of it was on the card. So it was 90% cash and 10% on the card. And my square fee was $1.96, which isn't bad, I don't think. And my booth fee, I'm not deducting out of this profit because I paid for that in October. So that booth fee came out of my October profits. I've explained that a few times. So I'm not going to keep explaining it every time. So my total profit that I took home with me that day was $513.04. So I thought that was pretty cool. I sold a total of 59 items, which is a pretty good amount of items for a smaller market like this. And then I have a list here of all the items that I sold. So I'm going to go over them, and as I go over them, I'll pop up pictures of what they were. Okay, so I made 4 eagles for the school, because the school's mascot is eagles. And a lot of people really like the eagles. A lot of kids wanted them, but I guess the price point wasn't good enough for the parents, They wanted the kids to pick out something a little bit cheaper, which I totally understand. So I made 4, and I sold 2 of them. And both of them sold to kids. I thought that was funny. But a lot of the teachers were really interested in them. I only sold 1 Grinch, and it was actually my very last sale of the day. As we were packing up our table, a lady came over and bought a Grinch. They had a lot of interest in them. I just think because of the type of market it was, the prices were higher, because my littler Grinches are $20 and my jumbo Grinches are $35. The jumbo Grinches got a lot of attention, and I just think it wasn't the right market, because it was a fundraiser for school and stuff, so people was looking for cheaper things. So I think my Grinches will do better on my next market coming up because it is like a Christmas shopping, you know, getting ready for Christmas kind of market. Okay, I made 2 mini pickles while I was at the market. That morning right after we first set up, I sat down. I had some Big Twist paw yarn with me and stuffing and all that stuff. I brought everything because I had a plan to make more pickles. So I think I made 2 regular size pickles, 2 or 3. And I made 2 mini pickles, which was my same pickle pattern. I just made them shorter. And I put them in my $3 basket. And I sold one of those. I sold a mushroom pop that I've had forever. I thought I was going to make a whole bunch of those because they're cool and kids like them. But I just don't like making them. And you have to use like the right yarn or they won't pop the right way, you know. But a little girl bought that. I sold 2 of my ornaments that I made recently. I had ornaments. I had some at $2, $3, and $5, and 2 of the $5 ones sold. I don't exactly know which 2 it was. I know the hot chocolate one sold, and I can't remember what the second one was. It was something. I just don't remember what it was. I saw 2 of the reindeer with candy corn antlers. Actually, one of those reindeers was my very first sale. A little girl, like 5 years old, a vendor kid, had money, and she bought that. I thought it was cute. I sold 1 stingray. I sold 3 out of 4 axolotls, and the only axolotl that didn't sell was the one who didn't have the embroidered eyes. It just had like the little line eyes. And someone was talking about that. I overheard them. They were talking about how the eyes were different. So I told Devin, if it doesn't sell, which it didn't, when I bring it home, I'm going to pull it out of my inventory, which is back there, and I'm going to redo its eyes and try to sell it. I sold the last banana that I had. I sold one of my bats, which I love always. I love it when one of my patterns that I design sells. It's just really cool. I sold the only bee I had. It was a bigger bee. I sold my last chicken with a frog hat. I sold my last ghost, which is also my pattern. A young boy bought that. He was probably like 13, 14-ish. I sold 1 gummy bear. I only had 3. I sold 1 jumbo spider. I had 2 of those. I sold 1 of them. And then I sold all 3 of the baby spiders, the little jumping spiders. That's a paid-for pattern. But those are always popular. Every time I take those to market, I sell out. Except that market, they got rained out, but that's because it didn't have a chance to like get going, you know. I sold my last mini stingray. I need to make more of those. I sold the owl that I made recently, not the white one, the brown one. I sold my last penguin. I sold my last shark. A young girl bought that. She was like 11-ish, 12-ish. I sold 1 loaf cat. I only sold 1 loaf cat this time. I thought that was interesting. But again, they have higher prices, and I think people for this market were looking for like 10 and under kind of things. I think it was an orange one that I sold. A young girl bought that too. I sold both my little pigs, and I sold 2 snakes. I only had 5 at this market, but I only had 4 out on the table because I didn't have my canopy to hang it on like I normally do. So I just kind of laid them out, and I have 2 like on the side, 2 on the side. And let's see, I sold a yellow one to a little boy. He was like 4. And then I sold a blue one to like an 11-ish-year-old girl. I sold all 4 of my last booty frogs. Those are always popular too, and I really enjoy making them. Those are one of the only patterns that I still put safety eyes in because I cannot get embroidered eyes to look right on them. So those and penguins I use safety eyes in because they just don't look right with embroidered eyes, I think, until I learn maybe a different way of doing them. But that was the last 4 I had, and I sold them. I sold one of my cool cats, which I've had those for quite a while, so I got 1 left. I only had 2 brontosauruses, and I sold 2 brontosauruses. Another young girl, like 11-ish. There was a lot of kids that age. I guess that's the age of the kids in the kindness club. She bought a purple one, and then a woman bought the blue one for a Christmas gift for a boy. I sold the little fish finally. A little baby picked him out, and he had embroidered eyes, so it was safe. He was like a little over 1. He was pretty young. I sold 2 of my possums. They get a lot of attention too. The possums always get a lot of attention. I sold 11 mini octopuses. Those are always popular. Let's see here. I took, I think, 24 of them with me, and I sold 11 of them, so I thought that was pretty good. I sold my last mouse. I sold 1 rat. I finally sold those 2 little flamingos I made. Both of them sold. And I sold 1 tofu turtle, which was weird because usually those are very popular. They did get a lot of attention, but kids just were picking out other things. And I sold 1 regular size pickle. So that was everything that I sold. That's 59 items. And I sold out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16 things. 16 things I completely sold out of. But some of those I only had 1 of. But it still counts. I still put it on my sold out. So, mushroom pop, banana, bee, chicken with a frog hat, my ghost, baby jumping spiders, mini stingray, the little owl, penguin shark, small pigs, booty frogs, brontosauruses, fish, mouse, and flamingos were all sold out items. And yeah, so I don't have that much things to go to my next market. So I have about 3 weeks to work on whatever for my next market, which is a Christmas shopping market hosted by our Veterans Museum at our American Legion building here in Sparta, Tennessee. If you want to come out, it's on December 7th. It's from 8 to 4, I think. And last year, that was my very first market that I had done. So this will be my, like my end of the circle coming back around to the same market. Last year, I took acrylic worsted weight amigurumis, and I made just shy of $200. This year, I'll be taking mostly plushies, so like blanket yarn and Chanel yarns plushies, and I do have a lot of acrylic Christmas things. My ornaments are acrylic yarn. I got candy cane holders that are acrylic yarn, gift card holders, things like that. So yeah, so I'm excited. I think this market went really well. Me and Devin was both surprised at the amount that we brought in because we were both expecting it to be smaller. So I don't know if this next one's going to do as well as this one or less or whatever. Who knows? I won't know until I get there. But the weather for this past market, was really nice. The high that day was like 65. It was sunny, and people were just out having a good time. One thing I thought was cool about the market is, one, they had an elf hunt, like a scavenger hunt. No, I guess I don't know if it's a scavenger hunt. But they had elves like taped all over the area that little kids had to go around and find. And once they marked them all off on their little book, they got like a prize pack. I don't know what was in it. I seen kids carrying them around, but I'm assuming it was just little gadgets, for kids. And every shopper that came in had a cute reusable Christmas bag. I thought that was cool. The front desk had a big stack of them. And that was so people could get a free bag and shop, and have a bag to put stuff in, which is cool. I thought that was so neat. And the bags were really cute. I'd love to have them for my markets. I think it would be cute for Christmas markets. But yeah, so, and the only thing we purchased at the market, and this wasn't out of market money either, it was money Devin already had in his wallet. He walked around because he always like scopes out for me to see if there's any more crochet vendors. He bought me this ornament. It's like a tile. See? And it's been painted, or this might be, oh yeah, it's like, I can feel it. It's vinyl Grinch, but it's so cute. It's also kind of heavy. But there are so many Grinch things there, and if I had like frivolous money, I would have bought all of it. But there were a few other crochet vendors. One had crochet plushies that were jumbo big ones, like it was those big yarns. And but it wasn't the only thing she had. She had a bunch of other stuff, and then some of those. One woman across from us was actually at the last market I did that got rained out. She makes crochet, like she had blankets, scarves. She had a bunch of little things. I couldn't tell what they were from where I was sitting. And like water bottle, holders, which people were buying. And one of them looked like a crayon, and a little girl bought one, and it was cute. She walked around the rest of the day with it. And there was a lady who had crochet pumpkins. But again, it was not the only thing she brought. She brought all kinds of other stuff. And then those. So I was the only table that was like 100% crochet things. And 100% plushies. Well, except for the ornaments and things. But I always like it when that happens. When I'm the one that's geared mostly towards kids. I always like that. It's like lucky, I think. When that happens, I'm like, yes. But there was wreath vendors, jewelry vendors. This one vendor right off to the side of me was like centerpieces. And they were really popular. People were buying the heck out of those. Floral and Christmassy, had ornaments and stuff like that. trying to think of what else. The lady behind me had like ornaments and jewelry and things, but she didn't make any of it. I overheard her talking about it, how she didn't make any of it, that she bought it somewhere and she's selling it. And I really don't like that. I really don't like that at a craft market. I don't like that. Like resellers, I don't like that. I don't think people like that should be allowed to do craft markets because they're supposed to be crafted things, not bought and then resold. But anyways, she was nice though. We talked to her and she was nice. I just don't like the vibe, you know, it's just icky. The person this way from us was the person who makes those rugs with it's like not needle felting, loom latch hooking, but they do it like a gun and then you shave it and it's like a really nice rug. And they were really cool, but they were also very expensive. Me and Devin saw some that we would have totally bought if we had the money, but they were high priced. And then the lady right in front of us she had like what is it called? Sublimation, something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Shirts, you know, where it's like pressed on there. It's not vinyl. And they were really popular because they were like Santa and Grinchy. They said Grinchy and stuff on it. What else was there? I'm trying to think. There was a guy who had cornhole boards. There was a couple with like baked goods. I'm trying to think. Oh, there was a lot of sewing ones. There was one that had sold pillows. There was one that had stockings. And there was one that had a whole bunch of those like bowl cozies that you put hot bowls in. The Grinch was walking around taking pictures of people. They had Christmas music playing the whole time, so it was nice. I love that kind of atmosphere. It kind of flew by. Those market days usually fly by for me. I always dread them because I'm like, I'm going to be there all day and it's going to be, you know, annoying. But they usually fly by because you're so busy talking to other people and doing transactions and all that stuff that it just, the time flies by. But yeah, so all in all, it was a good market. So I made $5.15 after my square fee. I made $5.13.04. The booth fee came out of October's profits, so I don't have to worry about that this time. And actually, my next market, that's December 7th, it also came out of October's profits, so I don't have to worry about that one either. I think it was only $35. This one was $40. The next one I believe was $35. But those both came out of October's profits, so they're already paid for. Just like my yarn and stuff's already paid for because I took it out of the months that I purchased it. So, like the money I came home with that day, the $5.13.04, that goes towards my November profits, and then anything I purchase in November comes out of all that together. My markets, my Etsy, my YouTube, all that stuff added together, minus all the stuff I bought or had to pay for in November, equals the total profit for November. But anyways, all the links will be linked below. Hopefully I popped up pictures. I'm pretty sure I took pictures of everything. I got my inventory still back here. I'm gonna dump it all out, just make sure everything's counted for, re-inventory it or whatever, and go from there. Oh, I did have two little kids try to steal things. One was a little tiny girl, like the size of my June. She was like not even 3, I don't think. And I was a little judgy of her parents or whoever, her grown-ups, because she was walking around by herself, and I feel like that's way too little to be roaming. She tried to steal a possum. She had one of those little bags that they were handing out, and she just grabbed it and started putting it in there, and I was like, whoa. I had to hear, and I said, you can't take that, honey. I said, go find your parent. And she walked off towards the other tables, and I did see her later walk around with another parent, and then later with some teenagers that were like sisters, I guess. But I still feel like she was way too little to be roaming around by herself. Anyways, and the other one was a little boy, probably like 4-ish, 5-ish. He was a vendor kid. And he grabbed a gecko and just took off with it. And before I could like react, his dad realized what he did. So his dad was making him bring it back, and he was apologizing. But I just thought it was funny. It's always funny when little kids do that. So far, I don't think anything's ever gotten stolen that I didn't catch. But I've had a few little kids try to swipe things over the markets. But anyways, that's it. So now I'm going to start prepping for that next market coming up on December 7th. So I will recap that when it comes and goes. And I'm working on bags this week for my Etsy shop, which will probably be the last update for a while on my Etsy shop until sometime in the new year. They are Christmas related bags. and I gotta make stitch markers for them. I'm gonna try to have those up this coming weekend. I told Devin if I keep putting it off, there's no point in even making them because it's gonna be too close to Christmas. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here, and I'm gonna go edit this video and then start planning what I'm gonna make. I got a bunch of yarn, so I just gotta figure out what I can make with all of it for my next market. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. And if I don't link a pattern down below that you're interested in, let me know and I will grab that link for you. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye, guys.